USC just had 2 5-star defensive linemen from Georgia decommit, and USC fans are confused. I've been on the message board, talked to USC fans, and they're blaming everything except for what the problem is. They're blaming NIL money. They're blaming everything except for what it is. USC is a historically great college football program of blue blood, and people would think that that automatically continues to translate into getting a top 5, top 10 recruiting class every single year. But why hasn't that happened for USC? Now, when I was in the NFL at the Rookie Symposium, they did this seminar and it was called Choices, Decisions, and Consequences. So your choices and your decisions also impact the consequences that happen to you. Now, Lincoln Riley, him deciding to stick with Alex Grinch at defensive coordinator 1 year too long was a bad decision. And even though he's gone, the Trojans defense and their perception out in the world still wears the stink of the reputation that they earned by being the 94th and 121st in scoring defense over the last 2 years. And that stink seems to have chased away 2 of the best rising senior prospects in America in defensive lineman Isaiah Gibson and Justus, both out of the state of Georgia. If you're a USC fan or a USC alumni, you're going to be asking yourself 2 questions. Number 1, why is this news? Because players commit and decommit all the time, right? But then also, why is this happening to USC when they are a college football blue blood and you have those players going to other universities? You would be right for asking that question, because you have 2 5-star prospects that both play on the defensive line decommitting from the same school within a few hours of each other. That is big news. And don't forget that USC is in the Big Ten now. And it's going to be national news when Miller Moss gets a haircut, if anything else on top of that. But decommits, it's a major thing when USC is trying to ramp up their recruiting to be able to win a national championship. And they wanted all the smoke that came with being in a bigger conference like the Big Ten. Well, here it is. Now you get whole videos made about why teenagers decided not to come to your favorite school. But I'm here making this video to say that Lincoln Riley and USC didn't lose the commitments because of anything that has happened at USC over the last week, because their fans are like, what happened? No, USC is actually trending up on defense with the hires of former UCLA defensive coordinator D'Anton Lynn and former North Dakota State head coach Matt Entz. Those are good things. And Sean Nua isn't a bad recruiter or defensive line coach. He actually helped build the Michigan defensive line that won the national championship last year. USC's reputation is the problem in recruiting right now. Yes, they found a way to get into the conversation with some elite East Coast prospects, but I'm not going to give a premier program credit for doing what they're supposed to do. You have to hold on to these players, especially first-round picks, when those 5-star rating is supposed to translate into first-round talent. And that's hard to do when you lose 7 of your last 15 games, all because of a shoddy defense, and your head coach has never produced a first-round draft pick on the defensive line. That's right, as great as Lincoln Riley has been and as much success as he has never had a first-round pick on the defensive line. And these 5-stars are supposed to translate into first-round picks. That's the whole point. And all this is exactly why you have to be ready to act as a head coach, and you have to have a standard that sets you apart. And sure, sometimes the team is on the verge of a breakthrough, and you'll only reach that breakthrough by staying the course. But the deviation shouldn't be as far as extreme as giving up over 40 points a game in the last 7-game stretch. Now, Lincoln Riley going into 2023 with Alex Grinch on staff is what set up these decommitments. And it doesn't matter that he's gone now, because you can't build a culture of acceptance around that stuff. Because if you'll tolerate a defensive rating in the triple digits, then you're going to have to tolerate losing the best recruits to a more serious program. USC, you have all the tools to be better. Let that sink in.